Okay, real quick, what are some things that everybody likes? Sunshine, sleeping in. Oh, ice cream. Almost everybody likes ice cream, unless you have like lactose intolerance or something. And still, I know some people will just power on through because it's worth it for that sweet, sweet ice cream. So there you are, eating your ice cream, and you're having the time of your life. Maybe it's a single scoop, a double scoop, a triple scoop. You dirty dog. Or my personal favorite, the banana split. Now, when you're done with that ice cream, how are you feeling? Probably pretty satisfied, but also kinda sad. Yeah, and whether we're talking about finishing a double scoop of mint chip or finally beating Little Nemo the Dream Master, finishing something that you enjoyed can leave you with mixed emotions. Although I should say that sometimes that mixture of emotions doesn't include sadness and may include other things instead, like rage and vindication. Yeah, some games just piss people off so much that it becomes more about beating them than actually enjoying them. But that's not to say that getting past something that's been giving you a good challenge can't still be really satisfying. In fact, quick little story for you. So back in the day, I'm playing video games with my cousin one afternoon, as we tended to do. Now, we were playing Sega Genesis, and the game was Super Street Fighter 2. My cousin is playing, and he gets stuck fighting the character Vega, just cannot get past Vega. And if you don't know, Vega can be a very annoying character, doing all sorts of rumble tumble, flippity do, razzle dazzle, flying all over the screen. Now, I'm going to tell you this next part of the story, having you bear in mind that we were both about 7 years old at the time. So, my cousin is fighting Vega, and he's pulling out whatever cheap maneuvers he can, whatever it takes to take down Vega. He's made it his life's mission to beat this stupid video game character by this point. And after getting his butt whooped over and over and over, finally he beats him, and he stands up, doesn't say a word, marches over to the TV, turns around, pants down, and moons the TV screen, where it's the screen of Vega's sad face because he just lost. But I wasn't looking at Vega's face, I was looking at my cousin's face, which looked like this. One of absolute pure bliss. And at that point I thought to myself, you know, it might be time to go play outside now. And if I can tell you one thing, my cousin certainly wasn't feeling sad. When a game makes you feel sad after having beaten it, it could be because it feels like the end of a long and enjoyable journey. And depending how long and how enjoyable that journey was, it could make you feel all the more sad. For example, let's say you just finish a 100-hour adventure game. Now, with an investment like that game could have felt like a legitimate part of your life for the time you were playing it. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, I've never seen anybody crying after they finished a game of Tetris. But while we're talking about Tetris, I think that game is a perfect example of a game that is essentially endless. And this is what I feel is so great about retro video games, is just how replayable a lot of them are. So you beat Contra? So what? It's not going to stop you from playing it 1,000 more times. So when you beat a retro video game, don't be sad. Pick that game up and say, this isn't goodbye, this is just see you later. And that should leave you feeling perfectly satisfied. But what about the games where the story is a huge part of the experience? Yeah, replaying those games is just not going to feel quite as fresh and new as it did the very first time you played it. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be story games. I mean, take something like Super Mario 64. This rocked my socks off the very first time I played it. But playing it now, yeah, it's still great, but it's just not the same. So when you finish a game that really left an impact on you, it might make you a little sad because you're like, yeah, I can play it again and it'll be great, but it just won't be the same experience. And yeah, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. How dare you insult the story of Super Mario 64? The part where the little penguin can't find its mom? That was an emotional roller coaster. Alright, the next reason that I want to go over for why you might be sad after you beat a game is for the kids. That's right, I want to talk to the younger generation for this one. So, you could be sad when you beat a game because you got nothing else to play after that. You can't just go to the store and buy another one. Kids have it rough like that, whereas adults can just go and do whatever they want. Buy another game, or go to our collection of a million other games that we have. Although, I feel like these younger generations get more video games than we did as kids. And is that just because they have us as parents and we understand that video games are so awesome, so we buy them more? I sure do hope that the younger generations have it better than we did in that regard, because, I tell ya, I remember some times as a kid where I'd finish a game and then I'd be like, oh crap, what do I do now? When's my birthday again? Oh, not for another 5 months? What am I supposed to do? Oh, I got it. I'll go to sleep until then. I'm not kidding. One time I actually, well, not for 5 months, but for 3 days, thought, I got it. I'll go to sleep for 3 days until it's my birthday, and then I'll just wake up and boom, I've got myself my game. I suppose that you could also feel sad after beating a game because it sucked and you felt like you wasted your time. Especially if it's a game you invested money into and you had high hopes for. That's a tough one. Alright, but with that said, it's time for this video's question, which is, what's a game that made you feel both extremely satisfied and sad when you finally beat it? I'd be curious what kind of answers you have for that. So, leave your comments down below, and I will see ya in the next video.
He's the red bird, yeah, and he's talking about video games. He's the red